the fluorescent lights buzzed above the nearly empty supermarket. It was late, close to midnight, and most people had already hurried home to their warm houses and comfortable beds. But Ryan stayed. He stood in the baby aisle staring down at a package of diapers, his rough hands trembling as he lifted them from the shelf. His face looked older than his 30 years. The weight of sleepless nights, unpaid bills, and endless rejection letters had carved lines into his skin. His jacket was worn thin, patched twice at the elbow. His shoe squeaked when he walked, but he ignored it. All he could think about was his son, Evan, barely 2 years old, wide-eyed, with the kind of innocent smile that could break your heart when you knew you didn't have enough to give him. Ryan turned the package over in his hands, searching for the smallest size, the cheapest price. His throat tightened when he saw the tag. $10.89. He reached into his pocket and pulled out his wallet. Inside was one lonely dollar bill and a handful of coins. He counted them carefully, his hands shaking. $10.91. Just enough. But it was all he had left. Rent was due in 3 days. His electricity bill was already past due. His fridge was nearly empty. Still, Ryan placed the diapers in his basket, whispering under his breath, "You deserve better than this, Evan. I'll figure it out somehow. Daddy always figures it out." As he walked toward the checkout, his chest tightened with shame. Once, years ago, he had dreams. He wanted to open a small repair shop, fix engines, and build a life he could be proud of. But then life hit him hard. His wife had left when Evan was only a baby, saying she couldn't live in constant struggle. She disappeared, leaving Ryan to raise their son alone. He worked odd jobs, construction, deliveries, night shifts, whatever he could find. But no matter how hard he worked, it was never enough. Tonight, the last of his money was going to diapers. Tomorrow, he didn't know what he'd do. At the checkout line, Ryan placed the package on the conveyor belt. The cashier, a tired young woman with dark circles under her eyes, gave him a polite smile. Ryan nodded back, but his chest burned with embarrassment as he handed her the crumpled bills and coins. Behind him, someone cleared their throat. A man stood there, tall, sharply dressed in a tailored coat. His hair was perfectly combed, his shoes polished. He looked like someone who belonged in a boardroom, not a midnight supermarket. His eyes, however, were focused not on the cashier, but on Ryan and the small package of diapers. Ryan avoided his gaze. He didn't want pity. He didn't want anyone to see how far he'd fallen. He just wanted to pay and leave. The cashier announced softly, "That'll be $10.89. Ryan nodded and pushed his last coins across the counter. His stomach turned as the register beeped. That sound meant he was broke. Completely. And then, just as Th.